Oh. Hey guys, y'all smell that? It's beer. That time of the season. Welcome back to Majestic Mayhem. I'm Death Dealer,
And I'm Pink Pickles.
and we are celebrating the 1st of September today. I know you guys are excited. I'm excited. Are you excited for the 1st of September?
I'm excited that we're one day closer to Halloween, but I'm not excited for what else September brings. We're one day closer to snow.
Eh, I don't have that problem here. So I don't think of it that way. I just think of it as one day closer to Halloween.
No, I'm totally ready. We're bringing in fall. Let's get rid of summer. Summer's too hot, too much sun. I'm ready. I love everything about fall.
Yeah, I agree. Everything about this time of year makes me happy. Except I'm a little over pumpkin spice everything.
Oh, I don't even like pumpkin. So, yeah.
I don't eat pumpkin personally, although pumpkin pie is a huge staple in our house. Everybody else likes it. I don't eat it or drink it. And I find that pumpkin spice is in everything now. And when I say everything, I mean
Everything.
everything. And it should not be in some places. It just shouldn't
I
be.
agree.
It shouldn't be used for some things.
I agree.
This is my warning to the companies. Stop. You're nasty. You need Jesus. We don't need pumpkin spice everything.
Yeah.
Stop.
There's also so many other flavors that they could use. I'm about to say something extremely controversial, so be ready.
Ooh,
We
I'm here for it.
need we need more candy corn flavored foods. That's what we need. I
I'm
said
not
it.
even
I
gonna
stand by
disagree with
it.
that.
Candy corn is delicious.
I can't argue with that because I do like it every once. I won't eat it by the bag, but I will eat a handful every once in a while. So yeah, you know what? They got pumpkin spice coffee and everything else, and tampons and all kinds of nasty stuff. Why not? Why not? I mean, they've now got what is it? I saw s'more ramen noodles.
I saw
Why?
that too. Yeah.
Why? What? It,
Yeah. That
ew.
just because you can doesn't mean you should. I saw that. I didn't try it because it's disgusting. Why would you want to eat that? If they had candy corn ramen noodles, I would have tried it. It would have been gross because why it doesn't mix with ramen noodles, but I would have tried it.
I'm gonna stick to normal things with my ramen noodles. I'm gonna stick to the. I like beef, chicken, meat flavors.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep it normal.
See now, Big Ramen is watching this, and they are firing up the plant right
They're
now
making
to
pumpkin
roll
pie
out
ramen.
yeah, pumpkin spice ramen is going to be in the stores next week now. That
Yeah,
you just gave them their next brilliant idea.
you're welcome. There's gonna be a bunch of basic white girls out there. I'm sure that will eat it right up. Enjoy it, ladies. You're welcome.
Putting
You're
their Uggs
gross.
on,
You're welcome.
going to get the pumpkin spice lattes.
Yes, MILF man, there is a Freddy Krueger t-shirt. Yeah. So you know what? I should probably that comment caught my eye for some reason. I should probably say hi to everybody else. Let's see. All right. See. Hi, Perry. I believe that's Freddie, right? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Slendy is Fred.
Oh, okay. Then that's not Fred.
The other one is Frank.
Frank. I think that one's Frank. So hi, Frank. Hi, RWK. Dreadpool, my darling husband, my biggest supporter. Thank you, darling. Timmy, how are you doing? Always a week of reaping souls. People will never stop being stupid. It makes my job too easy sometimes. Just saying. Bill said hi. And I believe I saw Axel. There he is. Hi, Axel. And I think I said hi to everybody. If I missed somebody, I apologize. I'm trying to catch up. I haven't been reading the chat. I apologize. I'll do better. I promise nothing, but I could try harder next time.
Okay, so now that it's September 1st, do you, because we know that your spooky season didn't start today. It's already been going on. So do you ramp up once you hit September?
Oh yeah, once September hits, I have weeks left. As of right now, I've got 3 weeks before opening night for my trail. And I only work on it during the week, and I only work on it a few hours a day because it's hot, and I'm volunteering my time, so I'm not trying to die for it. I'm down to give for a cause, but not die for that particular cause. It wouldn't benefit anybody in this situation.
Well, they would have one extra prop that they didn't have to pay for.
That's true. But the gator might eat me beforehand. So
yeah, I was going to say, it would smell a little bit in the heat.
Well, it's kind of quite, we do have a gator in the pond right behind. I do, where I'm at on the trail, there's a pond right behind me. And in this little retention pond, there's about a 4.5, 5-foot gator in there. He's only a few years old. Say that as if it matters. I don't know if that matters or not. He's kind of a baby. He doesn't bother us. We don't bother him. But he'd probably eat me if I was there long enough, because he does come onto the trail regularly. We've had to leave props on all night because we forgot to turn them off. Like 3 years ago, we forgot to turn off some animatronics and some lights.
Oh.
And we left. And we didn't leave until like close to midnight. So we figured we had everything. And we got home, got changed, got ready for bed and everything. And Mom and I were texting back and forth. And she was like, hey, by chance, did you turn this off? And I went, no. Didn't you flip the main switch? And she went, no. I thought you turned all the other one. I went, oops. So we ran back out there at 2 o'clock in the morning to turn everything off. And we got about 10 feet away from it, and we have it zigzagged, and we have walls, so you can't actually see in the next area. Mm-hmm. So you couldn't see where the plugs and stuff were, but you had to walk right past that area. Well, as we're walking up, and we're about 10 feet away, we hear, that's an alligator. That's a gator.
So the gators just clear their throat to let you know, like, excuse me, I'm here. Please get away. They're polite and give you a chance.
They're usually calling other gators and things.
Oh, that's the gator. That's the fresh meat. Come on, guys.
That's hey, come hang out. Especially if you're the opposite. If you're a lady, because it's usually male gators that do it. So it's usually come on if you're a lady. Come Netflix and chill.
Coming over to my swamp.
So we heard that, and we heard it hit the plastic, and I went, yeah, that's not a hog. That's definitely much larger. So because wild hogs you really don't want to hang out with either. So if it had been a wild hog, we might have hesitated, but you could kind of scare them off a lot easier. But contrary to popular belief, gators are quick. And outrunning them is not really an option.
I didn't realize how far off the ground they were when they are like giant size, and like their legs, and I don't know, I always thought they were really low to the ground until I saw a photo of one of the golf course, and I was like, well, this makes it even more terrifying. Thank God I don't see gators unless I go to the zoo. The only hogs I'm seeing are like at petting zoos and stuff, Pro tip: if you go to a petting zoo and there's a cute little piggy, rub their belly. They absolutely love it. They will just plop over on their side. It's adorable. Don't do it for a wild hog, though. I imagine they won't even let you get close enough. But
No, they would never let you get
no,
close enough. You'd probably be turned into food before that,
yeah,
especially if there's a few of them. No, fun fact about gators: the reason that most enclosures have moats in 6 foot, 7 foot fences, gators can actually jump pretty
that's
high.
not really a fun fact.
It gets better
What's the
though,
opposite of a fun fact?
but it makes it a fun. You know what is a fun fact? They can climb trees. They will chill in trees.
You're just making a list for the rest of us on why we should not move to Florida.
We are the Australia of the
Yeah.
USA.
So I just want to jump in before it disappears. Thank you to Game Complainers who became a member.
Yes, thank you.
So thank you. We appreciate it. Before you said that Dread was your biggest supporter. Harry's my biggest supporter. So thank you.
Oh, it's sweet.
Getting everyone to watch, putting the word out for us. So thank you.
Does a good job. Scary fact. It's scary
Yeah.
for some people. I don't find it that horrifying because the reality is gators aren't usually hanging out in trees. They're not. They really aren't. If they're in a tree, it's usually low to the ground, and it's usually I don't know, there's usually bunches of them, so you're gonna see them anyway. So you're probably
Is
not
that
gonna
wait?
go
Is a whole bunch of gators in low trees supposed to be less scary than one gator in a tall tree?
well, yeah, because you could.
Because it's really not.
You
There's a
see
whole
them
bunch
a
of
lot
them.
easier. Why? But usually, if they're chilling in a large group like that, they're not looking for food at that time. If they're above water, they're not looking for food. They're not a concern. How's that? I mean, that's the truth. If you can see them, they're not looking for food because chances are you will be in the water with an alligator and never know it. Does it
No,
necessarily mean they're hunting? No, but
not
it's a
me.
lot.
Because the only water I'm going into are swimming pools that I can see in. So I will see that there is a gator, and I will not go in the pool. I'm not going into unknown bodies of water and risking gators and seaweed and other unknown things touching me. No,
They don't mess with people too often. I mean, how many gator
too
deaths
often.
do you really hear, though? More often than not, they just lose a limb, and it's usually the infection that gets them. Well, in my opinion, you probably shouldn't be playing in murky, knee-high water anyway.
True, the gators really aren't at beaches and stuff, right? You know, when you hear about people going to beaches and getting hurt, it's not from gators.
Like,
So you're
listen,
right. Just
there's been a few cases where gators have eaten people, and I'm like, there's a conspiracy there. I have tinfoil hats for those people because my opinion is you can't be that dumb. There's no possibility. I'm sorry, you're breathing. You can't
okay.
possibly be that dumb.
Okay, so put your tinfoil hat back on. Did you hear this summer about all the orcas who were purposely sinking boats? And then they found out that they were talking to their orca friends to be like, "Hey, come on over. There's boats over here."
Absolutely.
What if the gators that noise or whatever it is that you made, right?
It sounds like a coughing or a sneeze. It's like a
right. That noise is like, come eat these people. They're just messing with us, right? Oh, we haven't. People are getting too comfortable around here. We need to take a leg to get everyone to back away from our swamp.
that would make sense, and I wouldn't blame them.
Right?
Overbuilding.
They gotta draw straws to say, be like, okay.
Well, we've encroached more in their habitats than ever before. We've taken more and more wildlife areas and turned them into buildings and parking lots and beaches and things. I mean, it's like that one beach that it's the number one shark attack area in the whole world. I can't think of what it is, but they found out for a long time. They were like, oh, it's just a bad spot. Come to find out, the problem with the area is there's no sea life in the beach area because they've killed it off from pollution and things. So the sharks have nothing to eat but people. because they
Not a better
ruin
look.
the
Yeah.
environment. So are the sharks really going, let's go get these guys? Or are they hungry looking for food? I'm going to go with good for them. If you're going to be crowding in their space, good for them. Like, I mean, I walk outside, I have a snake every once in a while in my yard. I don't kill it because it's there. I let it hang out because chances are, if you've got a good thing around, it's going to keep away the bad things. So,
I would not kill the snake, but I don't think I would let it hang around either. I would try to get it to hang around somebody else's house.
in Florida, if you have a garden snake or a corn snake or something, you want it in your yard because you won't get any poisonous or venomous snakes. You won't have issues with tofu frogs, which are poisonous to animals, cats, and dogs. It'll kill them.
Oh my gosh.
We are the Australia of the USA.
Yeah.
Although, as I say that, I say this as someone who will never step foot in Australia. I'm sure it's a beautiful country, but there are way too many things trying to kill you there.
And it's just normal. They just talk about it like it's no big deal. And it's insanely hot, too. So not only the animals are trying to kill you, but then the sun's trying to kill you.
I saw a spider that they have that actually like has weaved like massive forest areas, and this thing's like bigger than my head. And while I'm not scared of spiders, I don't know how comfortable I feel being in a real life arachnid movie. I remember that movie. And while it wasn't like completely scarring and terrifying, I'm not trying to.
You don't want to live it.
I don't want to be there. It's kind of like Piranha. I'm not trying to live it out. I'm just, no thanks.
I know. I think I'd rather live with spiders than piranhas, because the spiders may or may not be poisonous. I have a chance. You don't have a chance with piranhas. You're just dead.
We're not the top of the food chain. Contrary to everyone's belief, we're not. What makes us top of the food chain is that we're usually on a fair playing field with whatever creature we're fighting against, whether it be a massively large, strong creature or a tiny poisonous thing. We usually are prepared for the situation, so we obviously come out on top. But we're not. The whales have proven that. We're not. Oh, you thought the ocean was safe? Guess again.
Oh my god, the ocean is like the least safe place you could be.
It's not Jaws that's going to get you. No. It's Free Willy that's going to get you.
Only if you're on a yacht, though. If you're just like on a little canoe, they'll be like, no. This.
Why are you going on a canoe in the middle of the ocean? There's something else wrong with that. Have you not?
Okay, no. Valid point.
No.
Wouldn't your arms are tired from rowing all the way out there? I wasn't thinking about all the way out in the ocean. I was thinking just like slightly out.
A wave needs to hit you, and you just tip over, and now you're upside down in the canoe with your legs stuck in. You're gonna drown. Good job. Good job.
See, I'm not made out for ocean life.
I'm sure they come out a lot quicker than that, but I don't do one person canoes, so I don't know.
I don't know either.
Should probably ask somebody who knows.
Okay, so you only have 3 weeks left till your trail opens up. Do you now you spend your time working on the trail. Do you decorate your house for Halloween?
I actually do not decorate my house for Halloween anymore. I know it's crazy, and a lot of people usually give me flack about it because they're expecting me to say that I decorate my house above and beyond. My house, the inside of my house is decorated for Halloween all year.
Okay.
I keep skulls, skeletons. I have props that I can't put away, or that I don't want to put away, or I have to fix throughout the year, or that I've just made. So I've always got Halloween stuff around my house at any given time. Like, I'm staring at a stack of skeletons right now. They've been hanging out because they're going out, and I need to put bodies somewhere.
Dred says you live in a haunted house.
We do. I have Michael Myers stickers on my. I have the window stickers all over my house. I have them on my front windows. I have them on my back windows.
Good.
In case you were ever wondering how to deter Jehovah's Witnesses or anyone else for that matter, or any other religious groups, just put a few of those in your front windows. Leave them all year. And if you put a oh, no one lives cling in your front window, they leave you alone.
A giant skull on your door and a skeleton sitting in your porch does not deter them. Just gonna put that out there. I wish it did, but they still knock.
It depends on the time of year you got it. If you leave it out there all year and start decorating it for like Christmas and Valentine's Day and stuff, they'll leave you alone because they'll start thinking you're weird. Or you could always do what I've done. I opened the door and asked them how long it would take to live forever. And was just acting a little crazy. And then right before they left, I told them, don't bother going next door. They worship Satan and sacrifice cats on Thursdays. And they looked at me and I went, I know because we do it together. And I haven't seen them since.
I like that. Maybe I should try that because I just don't answer the door ever. I check the camera and 99.9% of the time it's nobody that I invited over because I don't invite anyone over. But
that's fine. Yeah, no, sure. Yeah,
Amazon leaves some packages on the porch. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't keep Halloween decorations up around Halloween outside only because I did do that for a few years when we first bought our house. And unfortunately, because I do a Halloween trail, I'm never home
on
Halloween. And then, of course, I have a child now, so I take her trick-or-treating. And I'm not here to hand out candy, and these kids don't take kindly to you having even if the lights aren't on. I don't leave lights on. I don't even leave spotlights or anything on decorations. I turn everything off. And even though everything's off, they still get upset because if you have decorations in your yard, you should be handing out candy.
Oh my gosh.
Kids, I'm busy scaring the pants off your little friends down the road. And probably handing out candy around Halloween anyway. So so I don't decorate my house anymore around Halloween.
So did you ever drive through the neighborhood a few weeks ago? You said that someone in your neighborhood has 2 of those like 10-foot tall skeletons.
Yes.
Right, because there was a debate over where they stored them. Did you drive by slowly with your pair of binoculars, taking notes?
I did drive by. Although now, because it's so close to Halloween, I'm afraid it's an unfair comparison because people were talking about, I'm pulling out decorations like 3 weeks ago. And it was, I belong to a couple of groups that are like, the 12-foot skeletons and things, the animatronics and things. And everybody was like, I'm being naughty by putting my decorations out now. And I'm like, hey, they're so weak. I've had decorations up all year. What are you talking about? I put Christmas lights in my crystal skull. Try it sometime.
I'm happy that Halloween is moving forward because Christmas just took over like the whole second half of the year, and there were it took away Halloween and Thanksgiving. Not that I really care about Thanksgiving. I don't know if people decorate, so Halloween could squeeze that out for all I care. But I'm just happy that at least now Halloween is having its time to shine. People care about it. There's a lot more stuff out. Yeah, stuff has been in the stores for weeks.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm grateful that it's becoming a more popular holiday. It has in the last few years. Halloween wasn't as geared towards being scary up until the last few years. I don't know what changed with society. I mean, I could take a few guesses, but in all honesty, people really weren't trying to scare the absolute piss out of another person in a neighborhood hunt. I don't think I really ever knew too many people that were really trying. There were a few here and there, but not, it wasn't a widespread thing, and it seems to be now. It's extremely popular to do haunts, to go to haunts, to have something, and to be involved with them in some way, shape, or form nowadays.
Yeah.
And a lot more people are getting gory, horrific house decorations for their own personal collections. And it's nice to see. I like it.
Yeah. Hope it
It makes
sticks
it easier
around.
for the rest of us that have been enjoying this stuff, because now we have one, we've got earlier access to all these things. Because, I mean, a few years ago, I wasn't able to walk into a store until October 1st to find Halloween stuff. You weren't able to buy animatronics until October 1st.
Yeah, and that's way too late.
Horrifying too late, especially
Yeah.
when you figure a lot of times your last weekend of September is your opening weekend. Like, because usually they don't want to run the last weekend of October, so they'll switch it out and go for the last
Yep.
weekend of September. And also it's considered more of a soft run because less people are willing to do haunted houses the last weekend of September. So you get all your kinks and stuff out. You get all your, you work all your problems out. Oh, I need more lighting. Oh, I need more actors. Oh, this isn't working. They need a different script. I mean, there's so many things that people just don't think about. That it's nice because now I don't have these problems. Thank you. Keep getting into it, guys. I welcome everybody. You should all have disgusting, bloody decorations in your yard and at least one animatronic threatening to eat children. Always.
Other than the skull on my door and the skeleton on my porch, we don't really put out decorations just because it's a lot of work. I don't do it. I want to do it, but I'm just too lazy. I need to find something simple is what I need to do. Too much work to go put everything out in the yard. I need to find something a little more easy to set up, I think.
What a lot of people, you need to try this. Instead of worrying about putting all your decorations up in one time, in one go, stretch it out a couple of days. Stretch it out 20 minutes a day. There's no reason whatsoever why people are busting their chops, throwing their back out, twisting an ankle and everything else, putting up decorations in a day. Why?
How many decorations are you putting out that you can't do it in a day, though?
I put up a haunted trail, so I mean,
Well,
I'm
yes,
doing
I want to try.
like,
I'm saying just for somebody's house, though, right?
what, you'd be surprised at the elaborate setups people have. I mean, they go. I've seen some ridiculous setups. Fantastic. I don't have the patience to do that to my house. Like, I've seen people. There's a person, and I can't remember what state they're in, but they built the Michael Myers house. They built the Michael Myers facade, like the actual front of the
Wow,
house, and
that's
they
cool.
put it, and they just anchored it to their house somehow, and just had. And I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
wouldn't do it, but that's amazing. I mean, I can't imagine how long it took to put all that, because you've got to build that from scratch. And since you're just building the front facade, you have to build it yourself. You can't buy something like that.
Where do you store it? Because obviously it had to be multiple pieces that you like assembled together. But even when you take all those pieces down, like that's still a lot of pieces for a huge facade of your house.
A lot of people have a lot of storage units. They have a storage unit, or
so you have a dedicated storage shed in your backyard just for your Halloween decorations.
Oh yeah, people talk about
it should be.
If you go to any Halloween props group and just join it for a day, just one day, that's all you're going to see is people talk about, oh, I just went shopping here, here, and here. Guess who's putting in another storage shed in their backyard? I guess I had better go bigger this time, a 10 by 20, because my 10 by 10 is not big enough anymore. And it's like, how much crap do you, I mean, I know what I've got. I've got more than what I assume the average person has. I know I do. I have way too many animatronics. If I weren't doing a haunted trail, I would say I have a problem. I do a trail, so I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
I run a trail.
You just have an outlet for your problem.
I have an excuse.
Yes.
It's not an addiction if there's a reason. But
So, I just want to jump in quickly too before this. If you look in the chat, thank you, Game Complainers. He gifted 5 memberships. So
oh,
he gifted memberships to Dreadpool, the Moon Man, RWK88, Iconic Video Games, and Charlie Hustle.
oh.
So thank you, Game Complainers, and now the 5 of you guys are all members also. So thank you.
Yeah, RWK, you could throw your back out putting up Halloween decorations. I've done it. It's not a good time. So that's why I say stretch it out. There's no reason to do more than you have to. Depending on what you're doing, I'd say probably put up 2 or 3 props a day and call it a day. Put some animatronics together and be done.
I don't think that RWK was talking about you hurting your back, putting up Halloween decorations. Just want to say that for the record.
Yeah, I know, but that's where I was going because that's what I was thinking about. I know what he's talking about. I know what I'm thinking
he's still
about.
3 weeks ago. Mattress stores here, so.
Oh god. Yeah, those storage unit wars. I always waited to see somebody who ran like a haunted house or something because I imagine the strangeness you would find if you had no idea that this person ran a haunted house and you got their storage unit in a bidding war and you just started going through it and you've got like jars of body parts and like buckets of blood and like skeletons and all kinds of, you'd probably be like this craziest. I would know right away and love it. I could imagine what the average person would think of that. Like, oh my god, what's wrong with this?
I don't know. I think that somebody would like it though because like I watched that show all the time when it was on, and I loved it. But they had to scout that out ahead of time to find out that there were units that actually had worthwhile stuff. Because I'm sure that if the storage unit by your house had an auction and you went, all you're gonna find are a whole bunch of. It's gonna be crap. It's gonna be worse than a flea market. Like it's just gonna be somebody's junk. So you'd probably be happy because you'd be like, even if you don't like Halloween, you'd probably be like, well, finally something that's better than old mothball eaten clothes and broken appliances and 30-year-old stained couches. I mean,
I actually read an article after the show had been canceled that said one of the problems was that it had been like all set up, like none of it was real. People knew what they were getting. They set up particular storage units to go on auction and things like that. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Sabre Paul, how are you doing?
Oh, he keeps all of his body parts in his storage unit, but it's not for Halloween.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Well, it is, because if the cops come to your house, you don't want any evidence there. That's only smart to make sure you have it somewhere that's not your house. Good thinking.
Listen, I just want to go on the record saying that even if the cops saw it, they may not always care right away. There was one time I was moving a bunch of props around Halloween to do my haunted trail, and I had boxes in the back of my vehicle. And some little old lady kind of love tapped the back of my car. Mm-hmm. So of course you got to have them come out and fill out a report and all that for your insurance companies. And when the cop got there, I'm explaining to Mom that I'm going to be late, but I don't know how late I'm going to be because now, one, I got in this little accident, but I've got the cop coming and he's about to pull up and he's going to see one, blocks in the back of my car that spell out die, D-I-E. Two, he's going to see limbs, severed limbs, covered in blood sticking out of them. And one of them has nothing but skeletons in it. And I might have to explain a few things before I'm allowed to leave. I don't
Okay,
know if he's allowed to
so
walk away.
what did the cop say when he showed up? Did he care?
Well, for the first 5 or 10 minutes that he was standing there talking to me next to my car, he didn't notice it. It wasn't until he was getting ready to walk away, he kind of did a double take. And you know that moment when you see him look past you? I watched him do that in slow motion, look right past me, and I just went, oh, God. So, officer, let me explain what's going on. And he just kind of looks at me and he's like, yeah, I think you might want to. And I'm like, that's not what you think it is. Like, I mean, you can open up the back and go through it if you'd like and touch everything if you want. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, some of it feels real. I'm not carrying body parts to the woods. They're already there, though. I'm just saying. Like,
I hope that's the exact quote that you said him, because that, totally makes it sound like, no, I'm not creepy and I don't have anything to hide. I swear, officer, I'm not creepy at all.
If I made the joke that the bodies were already in the woods, you wouldn't arrest me. So it's like, the body's already in the woods.
So did he look through any of it, or did he accept? Did he look through all of it or some of it?
He didn't look through all of it. No, he didn't go through all of it. I got my boxes they're really big. They're probably, I'd say 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet inside.
Okay, so if you are going, and please don't take any advice from me, everybody. So if you're going to commit a murder, you should do it leading up to Halloween. But that needs to be loaded in first, and then all the fake stuff loaded after. So when the cop goes through like half your car, it's all fake stuff, and then he gives up and he doesn't ever make it to the real one.
Mm-hmm. You also need to make sure to tell them that you are running a haunted house or that you're donating decorations to a haunted house.
Well, assuming that this was not a crime of passion and this is something that you planned out because you have mortal enemies, you could just plan this out ahead of time and volunteer, like legitimately volunteer, set this up years in advance, right? Don't.
Why do you think I play in the woods?
Maybe okay, you should take, here is some advice you could take from me. Don't, well, no, I don't want you to do this because I enjoy when criminals are dumb and then they get caught. That's what I want. But don't go out like the day before and buy a shovel with a credit card and like buy everything on a credit card within 24 hours of you committing a crime. So then it's easy for them to go, you went to the store right by your house and you parked in the handicap spot, so you got a ticket so then they could prove that your car was there. I mean, just don't. But if you do this and you plan it out years ahead of time, lay the foundation here. Just food for thought. Just food for thought. I obviously watch a lot of crime documentaries.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, if you volunteer in your town or your county or wherever you live, a couple of times a year, go play in the woods. Even the cops don't look at you anymore. Like, because I'm out in the woods so often, the cops see my car all the time. They never stop me. And I'm not kidding when I tell you, I'm dragging body bags across the floor and they see me dragging bodies. I have a body bag that I do have a body bag that is fully stuffed and used.
So the cops are going to need all of us on the internet to be like, yeah, we don't know. The state of Florida, we're just calling the state of Florida generically because we don't know where anyone lives, but yeah, we haven't seen this guy on the internet in a few weeks. Can you please go look at this guy's wife? And they'd be like, what are you doing? Are you on drugs? So I need to come to your house?
If my husband goes missing, I'm going to be the first one to put up missing posters for him while he's stuffed in my trunk. Don't worry. We already know this.
Yeah.
We've established it. There's no denying it. I've got a rose bush with his name on it for the yard. There's a couple of, I haven't decided how he's going to go yet. There's a couple different ways we could do this. I mean, I think the funniest one I heard is where you call the county, tell them that you saw someone digging and holding what you think might have been a dead body out somewhere, and then they go out there and dig the hole. And then you just go out there later and, flap a body into it. So
Okay, that's genius because they already looked there and didn't find anything.
and that's actually the
I love
joke
it.
is that they don't go back because it's someone's already called and they checked it, so they don't go back to it because they've already checked. Like
I love it. That's genius. I love it. And the hole probably is easier to dig up because now it's not compacted dirt, right? Like they just filled it back in. It's not all compacted. I like it. Just make mental notes. It's okay. See, you'd be suspicious. If anyone saw me in the woods, you know something's wrong because I'm not in the woods. Why would I ever go into the woods?
To get rid of the bodies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you see me in the woods, like something happened, there's a problem, this is out of the ordinary.
Do you have pig farms then to get rid of them at? How are you getting rid of it? I mean, you got pig farms nearby or chickens? Chickens eat teeth. Just saying. I mean, you got to grind them up, but they'll eat teeth supposedly. I wouldn't know. Hypothetically.
I'm not worried about getting rid of all the evidence. Mm-hmm. My plan is just to contaminate the crime scene so much that you're never going to be able to get anything off of it. Oh, right? Like I don't know, because I'm going to go on a road trip at one point, and I'm going to stop at every truck or rest stop there is, and I'm going to make sure to get cigarette butts. I'm going to go to a whole bunch of different barber shops, and I'm going to get hair clippings. I'm going to go steal from doctors' offices. They leave the vials of blood out for the company to come pick up for testing. I'm going to steal some of those, and I'm just going to do this from a wide portion. So I'm just going to contaminate it, so they're never going to be able to figure anything out because they're going to be like, how do we have 1,000 different DNA samples on one body?
That's amazing. That's like the best plan I've heard. I like that. I think I might have to take that for the scene itself, but I think I still want to get rid of the bodies just because I think that'd be more fun, more dramatic. I mean, for the dramatics, I want the drama of it all.
Okay, true.
I want to see how the detectives try to pin this all together to be entertaining. Like, what crime? Where's the body? What body? Like, if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. There's no body, there's no crime.
True. No, I watch a lot of crime shows. I just watched yesterday. I watched all day long. I watched crime shows, but I watched the one about Elisa Lam, this was in 2015, I think, in California, and she was in the water tank on top of the hotel. Mm-hmm. Turns out it wasn't even a murder.
I remember that one.
It turns out that she was bipolar and stopped taking her medicine. So sadly, she was going through some stuff, and that's what happened. But I was like, she was there for like 20 days or 19 days before she clogged, before the water was tasting weird enough, discolored enough, and the pressure was so low that they found her up there.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that and it being this because she looked. Wow.
It was the footage of her from the elevator.
Yeah, she looked real weird in the elevator thing. Like, there was nobody else in the elevator. That was the thing. And it was like, I kind of wonder if I thought maybe she had undiagnosed schizophrenia. Maybe that might have played a part in.
And it turns out it was bipolar. I guess she had a severe case of it.
And they finally figured it out. I don't remember.
Yeah, and she did. They could tell by how many pills she had left and her level of medicine in her body that she had stopped taking her pills. And some of the symptoms that she was exhibiting, her sister had said that, yes, this has happened before. She was paranoid. But too, a lot of people with the elevator video were like, well, why come the elevator wasn't closing? Why was it stuck there? One of the buttons that she kept hitting, if you hit that button, it holds the elevator for 2 minutes. So she probably was like, why is the elevator not working? Kept hitting buttons, not realizing that she's hitting the button to keep it there. But it's a sad case. It's a very sad case. But like I said, she was there for like 19 days.
Oh, what about the lady at the Wells Fargo that was found in her cubicle.
She was
What?
there
I
for
mean,
four. Okay,
oh,
this lady works for Wells Fargo, and she went to work. I forget if she went to work on a Friday, if this was over a weekend. I think it was, but she worked in a cubicle farm, right? And
mm,
a lot of people work remotely, so she badged into work. She was at work. She died at her desk, and it took 4 days before somebody noticed that this lady was dead at her desk. 4 days.
I feel so bad for that woman. It is a horrifying thought to think
Yeah,
about that no one in her day to day life, nobody in her personal life noticed that
yeah.
she was gone for days. I just,
Okay, clocked in on Friday morning. So that does make more sense because at least nobody at work on Friday noticed that she wasn't. No one saw her at her desk. Obviously, nobody noticed she wasn't like talking to them at work. And then I guess it was Saturday, Sunday, and then at some point Monday is when they must have noticed. But you're right; it is sad that she didn't have anyone in her personal life that didn't notice. Although if you just don't talk to somebody for a couple days, I don't know if I mean, I live with my husband, so he would be like, "Why didn't she come home?" But if you live alone, I could see that maybe you're just I had a bad weekend. I'm being a hermit, and I'm going to stay home and watch crime documentaries all weekend,
but
right? I could see one weekend.
nobody swung by your desk at any point in time for nobody walked. I mean, okay, I can see how nobody needed you in particular that day. Fine. Let's say by some crazy,
Hmm.
I mean, I never had an office job where I wasn't bothered several thousand times a day. I'm sure there's jobs out there. Let's say some wicked incident. This woman had one of the few random jobs where nobody bothered her all day at her desk in a building. How did no one walk by her desk at any
Yeah.
point in time and be like, "Hey, Lucy, got plans for the weekend?" Like, was she that big of a jerk? Did you hate her that much that no one even bothered to say, "Listen," like,
Well, that's the thing. I mean, doesn't she have a boss or coworkers who work with her? Or like Perry said, Wells Fargo was too cheap to hire a cleaning lady. So fine, but it is yet that no one cleaned the building all weekend long.
but if I didn't say hi to my coworkers, I said another thing in another way, and it starts with an F and ends with a K. Drop dead. As so, you gotta say something to your coworkers when you pass by their desk. Drop dead. I hate you. Brown noser. What's up? You're amazing. Doing a great job. You suck at
Okay,
your job. Like, I could hire a monkey to do better than, like, so you can't hate your coworker enough to not even do it, like, nothing.
Dredd apparently has done a deep dive on this case because he knows all the details. She was on the third floor where she was in an area where people don't go very often. And I think, that though brings up the
I
whole
call
the whole
BS.
point about remote working. And if you don't have that many people in the office to warrant that you have a floor that nobody goes to, then why is that floor even open? Why are you still renting it? Why is that not conference room space or something? Right? And
What
then I don't know.
building, what office job do you all work at that nobody talks to? I mean,
I wish no one talked to me. People won't leave me alone.
I mean, I had an office job years ago, and I used to tell people to go away when they'd come knock on my door. I literally didn't even look up sometimes. I'd just go away. I don't care. Go away. I wasn't the manager, so it wasn't my problem as far as I was concerned. Away. Whatever it is, F off. Go find somebody else.
That's kind of a crappy boss too, though. That like your boss has no clue that like you're. I guess maybe the boss wasn't at work that day in the office. I don't know. I don't know.
Security fine. Like, okay, so out of all the people, how the hell did security find her out of everybody? You mean to tell me none
Well,
of these people told her to get bent or nothing, And security was the first one to be
I'm
like,
s-
"What's up, girl?"
I'm surprised though. Security. Did someone report a smell and security went to check it out, or was security doing
It was
rounds of the
recorded.
building? Because if
I think it was.
security was doing rounds of the building, why did it take until Monday? Shouldn't they have
I think it was this. I read in one
found it
article it was
earlier?
the smell. I read in one article it was the smell that gave them away because when you die, you generally tend to hit the eject button on your organs. I guess you could say you hit the eject button and things just kind of flow. Um, I would imagine that would be a strong smell amongst, decay. You kind of can start to decay fast depending on circumstances and things.
Yeah.
I used to have a friend that worked at a crematory, and he said that depending on the circumstances and like your body fat ratio and things, and the temperature that you're hanging out in and everything, and humidity plays a factor. Like everything plays a factor. So I imagine how you go too. So
True. Zerubbabel Paul said he could go a week before anyone would notice. I hope that's by your choice. And if it's not, you need to like have somebody who checks in. Like my best friend, if she doesn't hear from me, I mean, it won't be 2 days, but because we text all the time, all the freaking time. So if it gets to be a few days, sometimes she'll check in just to make sure I'm alive. I did the same thing, but like, just want to make sure you're there.
I was gonna
Make,
be my
I'm
mom.
always like, I was like, I hope the cats aren't eating your dead body off the floor. That's normal. That's normally what I say to her.
My kids would notice if I was missing for an hour. I can't go missing
True.
for an hour without Tiny Giant noticing I'm missing. That child lives, breathes, and sleeps to know what I do. My husband's pretty particular about knowing where I am most of the time. He likes knowing where I am a lot of the time, so he would notice I was missing. My parents, all the moms, would definitely notice after about a day or two when I didn't annoy them with stupid questions about something or just general annoying things. So yeah, they'd probably notice. And then my siblings, because they wouldn't be able to annoy me, would notice sooner or later. I can't decide how long it would take them to notice I was missing,
Yeah.
or if some of them would care. Some of them may not care, some of them would care. It just depends on which one you're looking at.
Yeah.
Um, so
See,
yeah.
Perry would know. He would know quickly. My best friend, it would take her a couple days. My job would, if I didn't show up to work, my job would be like, "Where are you?" But come to think of it, if I died at my desk on Friday afternoon because I'm the last one to leave on Fridays, if I die right after everyone else leaves,
Mm-hmm.
if for some reason Perry's not looking for me, nobody would find me until they all showed up for work on Monday. And if for some reason I closed my office door, which I don't know why I would, because like I don't know I'm gonna die, but if I were to close my office door, they really wouldn't notice. Well, maybe they would, because I guess they'd see my car, but
Not for nothing, Perry. If she goes missing, we're kind of going to be looking at you, my guy. So you really might want to make sure she doesn't go missing. And if she does, you really want to make sure you report it first. Because if one of us reports it, it's going to be real shady looking. Just
he
saying.
only watches the crime shows because I do. He's not the one who's on his own. Although maybe he is, I don't know, because he's in his computer room. I think he's watching YouTube. I don't know what he's watching YouTube. Maybe is. Maybe he got some ideas from the crime shows, the documentaries I was watching that he's doing research. He's got a little notebook I don't know about with his ideas. I don't know.
Oh, okay, hold on. I think Dreadpool's over here being dramatic again. I'm dead right now, but death is too busy to notice. What did I do? What did I miss? What did I miss?
He slumped over on the desk 5 feet from you, and you won't notice for another hour.
That might be true. That might be true. I'm not even going to lie. Well, in my defense, his computer is in the back. I hang out in the front of the house, so it's not like I'm sitting right next to him. Now, however, when I came out to the kitchen, I'm going to notice. I'm going to notice because I usually come out and annoy him when I come to the kitchen. Usually yell in the background if he's doing a stream or something, or, just general, wife annoyingness. It's how we roll. It's what we do.
So that lady passed away at work. But then did you also hear about that guy who went hiking with his coworkers and they left him on the mountain?
Now
Okay.
that is just, I don't know whether to laugh at that one or feel really bad for that guy and hope he gets another.
So apparently they do, because I was like, because the first article that came out didn't have a whole lot of detail, so I've been like keep checking for updates because I'm curious, and half the people online talking about it are blaming the guy, and half the people are blaming the coworkers, like what jerks they are. So I guess they've been doing this for a few years that they hike to raise money for charity. So it's some little like work retreat, and they're hiking for charity. So I think there were 14 people total. So half of them were only going to hike up to the summit. Half of them, or no, wouldn't be the summit was the top. So half were going to stop like in the middle somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
The other half were going to go all the way to the top. I don't understand how he somehow, I don't know if he was just too slow getting to the top or if he got separated. Whatever happened is he was still on his way up with his half of the group. He's still on his way up, and some of his group was already coming down, so they didn't wait for him. You would think, though, that they all saw him. You would think that they would have waited at the halfway point and waited for him to come back down, and then you could have all gone down together. No. They went all the way down, but they got down, and I guess they had left clothes and personal items to, like, mark the path. They took them all with them. So this guy didn't even have the path marked anymore because they took all the people going down took all the markers away. So now this dude's at the top of the mountain. Here's what I don't get though. He made it to the top at 11:30 in the morning. Yeah. They didn't call police until 9:00 at night. It took you that long to be like, and they knew something was wrong because they didn't say the times. At a certain point, he had dropped a pin to his coworker. And his coworker was like, no, you went the wrong way. You got to go back up to the top and go down the other trail. And then at 3:50 in the afternoon, he called again. But then a storm rolled through and he lost cell service. So he's trying to get down the mountain. He fell I think they said he fell like 22 times or something. Oh. And the last time he fell, he couldn't even get up. So they found the dude like laying in the gutter somewhere halfway up the mountain. I just can't believe it. Can you imagine going to work and now you're going to face all these people?
No, because I'd be fighting them. I'd walk in the building swinging. Are you kidding me? I mean, I can't be the only one who's like, violence is absolutely the answer to it.
Which one of you picked up the water bottles? Who picked up that jacket?
Oh, dude, I'm not even asking questions. I don't care. I'm swinging on as far as I'm concerned, even if you weren't there for the hike, you are partially responsible because you didn't help. So you're getting swung on too. You're an old 96-year-old lady.
Yeah.
Titties. You're getting swung on, Karen. Oh, Bill, you didn't mean to leave me. Tough nuts, bro. I'm swinging anyway. Like, oh, Ken, you wanted to come back and save me? Well, guess what, buddy? I got a left and a right hook for you, dog. Like, I'm fighting everybody in the building.
I just can't believe that it took him that long to call help for help. I get maybe they didn't know that he got there at 11:30, but if they were coming down and they saw him going up, they had to have known approximately when he got there. But then he pin dropped his location and then he called a second time and the communications went dead. And the storm rolled through. Wouldn't you have called and been like, hey, my coworker, we're having trouble getting hold of him. The storm went through and we're getting kind of nervous. We might need some help. Listen, no, you waited 5 more hours.
I have hated some people. I really have. There are some people I still don't like. I have never left anyone in the woods before. I still haven't done it. There's people that I would love to feed to the alligators. I've known plenty of alligators at spots, and I've got plenty. I have yet to leave a living person in the woods to fend for themselves and be like, you know what? They'll be fine.
I told you I don't go in the woods, and if I was, I would not leave somebody there.
I'm telling you, I would just I'm reaping the whole building. It's going
Yeah.
down. And you know what? Burn this bridge. Not only am I burning the bridge, I'm salting the ashes when I'm done, because the hell if anything's growing on that land again, I'm salting the ground. No, nothing
Yeah.
will ever be it's cursed land now. Good job.
It is. I would. Well, I mean, if he wants to keep a shop and he likes it there, I would never let my coworkers live it down ever. And I sure as
Job.
hell and I sure as hell would not be doing the hike next year, right? I don't care that it's for charity. No.
That man better get so much money from the company, from his asshole coworkers, from the dipshit park rangers. That I mean, to hell with everybody. If I were him, I probably would have started a fire. I would have.
Well,
You
no,
don't know I'm here? Well, you're gonna know I'm here soon enough.
But he fell and couldn't get up, so he was like laying. When I say he was laying in gutter, I mean obviously there's no gutter on the side of a mountain, but he really was laying in he was in water.
I just can't
He was,
imagine.
and it was, and it got cold, and yeah.
I talked to my coworkers on the phone. They were giving me directions on how to get back down because they couldn't bother to wait for me at the halfway point.
And they pulled up all the markers, so I had to call them.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's like it's one.
Ground.
No, I was gonna say it's one thing if you just forget, but no, how do you? You're on a mountain. How do you forget somebody? So that's not even one thing to forget somebody, because you would think that you walked 20 feet away and be like, "Oh crap, where's Bill? We didn't see him." But like you actively picked up all the stuff behind you. I mean, that's just Bill's not a thought in your mind. You'd hate that guy, and you don't give a crap what happens. He's nobody that you didn't even notice.
Oh, imagine when it goes to court and they all have to tell the honest truth. Like, why did you leave him on the mountain that day? Well, see, he's a bit of a jerk.
Well, no, you know what's going to happen?
Coffee mug.
Maybe he puts fish in the microwave every day for lunch. So the judges are going to be like, no, we understand. We get it. We would have left him in the mountain too. You guys are good.
You know what? He had better win that whole bill. He better put his name on the damn building after this. He better get a plaque on the side of that damn building with his name on it. And right underneath it, everybody can kiss my ass. I would sue them to get ownership of the company and then fire everybody. Just fire them all.
Dude, Frank
from the company.
Frank just put in the chat, imagine they make fun of him at work when he goes to the bathroom. Don't get lost.
Burn it down and salt the ground. Dude.
Oh,
violence is...
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. He just turns around and stares and are like, oh, too soon? Sorry.
Imagine that conversation, like the first day he gets back. So listen, we gotta have a meeting today. Before we start, I just want to go ahead and say on behalf of everyone in the company, we apologize for leaving you on the side of a mountain, pulling up all the markers, ignoring your phone call,
and
then not encouraging Wild Park officials to come looking for you during a massive storm there's so many things wrong with that whole sentence.
The boss starts the meeting, but he doesn't bother to check to make sure everyone that is there, and Bill's still sitting at his desk. So he starts the meeting apologizing, the guy's not even there.
And this guy probably woke up the other morning and went and saw himself and the lady at Wells Fargo and went, I've got to quit this job today. Because my guy, if you're listening out there, you need to quit this job. I don't care how much they pay you.
Well,
you're going to die at that desk and they're never going to notice. If they didn't notice you
no, they're not.
on the side of the mountain, They're not going to notice you in
And
the
it's the
cubicle, my
guy's an
guy.
insurance underwriter. You can get those jobs anywhere. It's not like the guy has a job that you can't ever work. There's one company who hires you. Like, you're right. He is. He's going to die at his desk, and it's going to take more than 4 days to find him. And they probably don't even work remotely. They all come into the office every day, and it'll still take more than 4 days.
You're the guy they won't even say hi to or
Yeah.
drop dead to or
No, they
so
walk
glad
by.
you're
They
here.
walk by and
Not
tell you
even,
to drop dead, and you don't answer because you are dead.
they're not even going to make eye contact with you because
Yeah.
they don't care. Leave that job, dude. If they forgot you on the side of a mountain, I genuinely
Yeah.
don't want to know what else they're capable of towards you in that respect. I mean,
Yeah. Leave. It's not worth it. They're not paying you. I don't know how much money insurance underwriters make, but I guarantee you it's not enough money to get left on the side of a mountain. Not enough.
I just can't imagine. Mm. How does management explain that away to upper management? So, like, what happened was we went for and
Was
it was a team building exercise.
what?
We went for a team building exercise, left a team member on their own, and then forgot him on the side of the mountain.
Well, I want to know was anybody in management on this hike? Because that's even worse. Because even if it's something where you're going on your own time as a fundraiser, the fact that it's all work people kind of does make it a work event still, and that's even worse.
I'm not going to, and see, this is why I used to have a rule. I wouldn't go to work events if I wasn't getting paid for my work hours. I am not
Yeah, I
going to play
agree.
bowling with my boss. I live in America. That's not part of the culture. I am not hanging out with my manager, with my boss, with my CEO. I don't care. I'm not
Yeah.
doing it. That doesn't mix. And I'm definitely not mixing alcohol with my job. That's a bad plan right
Yeah.
there because somebody's going to get drunk and do something or say something they shouldn't have said. And they're
Although
going
it
to
is
get fired.
although it is fun when it's not you and it's somebody else.
Oh, it's great when it's if you don't like that person. If you happen to
Yes.
like that person, it's kind of sad and you're
Yeah.
like, damn it, why'd you open your mouth? But if you don't like them, like Bill, you left him on the side of a mountain, so we genuinely don't care if he gets fired tomorrow or
Yeah.
not. Um,
So Bill couldn't call 911. I don't know why he didn't call after the first coworker when he dropped the pin said, "Oh, just go back to the top," and obviously was not helping him. The second time he should have called 911 himself, but a storm came through. And when the storm came through, he had no cell service. So after that point, he had no cell service at all. So he couldn't make a phone call for help. That's why he himself did not call 911. Because I would think at a certain point that he would have, if he had signal, I would assume as he was sliding down the mountain, getting hurt, laying in a puddle of water, that he would have, but
hey, Paul, your compass on your phone, you need to have your phone with service in order for that to work.
and I'm just gonna say, as somebody who is not an avid hiker, if you put me in the woods and gave me a compass, you think I'm getting out of there? Hell no. Because what is it like? Okay, I can walk north, but what good is that going to do me? Because is north the way I have to go? I don't freaking know, right? Like
If you're
that's why they left belongings on the trail for the guy to follow, and then his jerk coworkers picked him all up. If they would have left the stuff, he could have easily seen the stuff, and he could have collected it on his way down. He would have followed the trail, but yeah.
Well, why are you picking markers back anyway? Are markers supposed to be there to help mark the trail? Isn't that what the point of markers are?
Why I don't know why there weren't permanent markers, because did they like make their own path? Because
I don't know.
I thought there was like, don't they have those little like line symbols and lines painted on trees? When I was a kid, I went to a nature camp and we would hike through the woods. So it was like I said, I was a kid at a nature camp. This is not hiking, but it was like, one white dot and you could follow that trail, or there would be like 3 little yellow dots in a triangle shape, right? Like there were different shapes and colors and patterns so you could follow a trail. I would think that there would be permanent markers if this was a legit trail.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. They didn't say why. I don't think it was permanent, so they had left belongings along the way to mark their trail.
Hmm.
But again, the last person down needs to pick them up, not the second to last person down.
Yeah, I
You
still
know.
don't understand why the markers weren't permanent to mark the trail. That just doesn't make any sense to me. I've never been on any trails that didn't have permanent markers in
Yeah.
some way, shape, or form. They all have
And
permanent.
that's because these are just people doing hiking for charity. Maybe none of these people had any business hiking to the top of a mountain because maybe they just didn't know how to read the permanent trail markers, so they left their own, not knowing the permanent ones existed, right? Maybe.
That could be. That very well could have been. I mean, that would make sense. But in that case, that's even dumber. This is an even dumber scenario than I first originally suspect. You don't go hiking with a bunch of amateurs and not an avid hiker. You know what I mean? Or at least an amateur hiker, someone who's been hiking and knows a little bit. Because I mean, as someone who does do outdoorsy type things, and I have been quite athletic over the years, it's just piss poor planning. You don't take someone who's completely out of shape and hasn't run since they were in, like, fourth grade, and they're now 55, and take them to a 5K and run. No, that's how people die.
Yeah. I don't know.
It just seems like a bad idea. So
But I mean, this dude at 11:30 in the morning reached the summit, and they did not get him until sometime on Saturday is when they finally found him. Like, he was there overnight because of the storm that came through. They had a drone and they had a helicopter, but they couldn't find him. And then I think they couldn't really fly because it was dark and because of the weather. So then they came back in the morning and finally found the guy.
whoever he thought was his friend at work, he's fighting them when he gets back to work.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
Well, he obviously has no friends at work. No friends.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the guy he thought was his friend.
Yeah.
He's going in. I mean, buddy, I don't think anyone's going to blame you if you go in swinging on everybody. I mean, I think at this point
Yeah.
it's kind of understandable. I read an article tomorrow that was like, you swung on the old lady in the desk next to you, I'd be like, I get it. Not that I approve, but I understand.
Bitch left me on the mountain. she deserves it.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I understand.
Yeah.
Hey, like
So-
terms.
So
Yeah.
here, so dealing with people not dying, we'll go a little more upbeat. But I said they had the helicopter looking for this guy. So the other day in Brooklyn, they had the helicopters looking for some. I think it was a 9-year-old kid. The kid left his house in the morning to go to school, never went to school. So his parents called the police because obviously, your little kid is missing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't find him. So they have the helicopter like going over the neighborhood, seeing if they can spot him.
Uh-huh.
The kid's just on the roof of his building. He just was playing hooky, just messing around. So he got caught by the helicopter.
That reminds me of that hot air balloon kid. That was
Oh, Balloon
hiding in
Boy.
his attic.
Yes.
Yeah, Balloon Boy. He was hiding in his attic the whole time.
Yep.
Kids,
Yeah, this little kid. I don't blame him. I don't want to go to school. That sucks. Just want to hang out at home. His flaw though was he should have come home. He stayed out too late. If he would have just come home at like 3 PM. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it said that they looked for him because he wasn't at school. I don't know if they looked in the middle of the day.
Oh, they probably went looking for him. A kid that young, if you're not in school, the school's not just calling your parents; they are directly calling and want an answer as to why you're not there.
So then he should have been smarter. So he should have then like gone to a few classes, so that way they checked him in that he was at school, and then he should have just made a break for it. Because then it would have taken a little bit longer to find him. But I just was hysterical. Like, thank God the kid's okay. Everything's fine. Well, he was okay
Oh, he got his ass
until
whooped.
I was gonna say until everyone went home. Yeah, he got his ass
Until
whooped.
mom
So
got a hold of him or dad got a hold of him. Oh yeah, he's perfectly safe
yeah,
until he got home.
yep,
I can't
safe
even.
until the cops left.
I don't even know. I can't even imagine. You know, on one hand, you'd be mad as the parent. You'd be so mad that your
Yeah,
kid stressed you out, had you worried, had all these other people worried where they're looking for them and everything. But on the other hand, you're relieved that your kid's fine, was fine, has been fine, and the little shit was just skipping school. Like,
yep,
slightly proud on one hand because you're like, damn, you thought of a plan, you executed it, and if you hadn't messed up your time,
yeah.
you probably would have gotten away with it, my guy. Might have gotten away with it. Need a little more on the execution, but you might have gotten away
Well,
with it.
see now I wonder though. Like, well, I'm assuming at least in the immediate future, his parents, or if they're not, the times don't work out, they will have somebody walk him to school to make sure he gets there. Make
Oh,
sure,
he's
right,
getting
without a
lost.
doubt, they will make sure that he gets there. But I wonder how long until he skips school again? Because you know, if you're doing this at 9, there's no way that you're not doing it again. You're just
I
going to
don't
learn from
know.
your mistakes.
It depends on who found him. If the cops found him first and he had to go sit at the police station while he waited for his parents to come pick him up, and
Well, it
they
was that he was on his own building. He was on the roof of his own building, so I'm sure that his parents were there. As soon as the helicopter found him, I'm sure they just told the cops like, "Hey, we see the kid up on the roof,"
well,
and they all went up there.
they're still going to have to question him though. They're
Yeah,
still going to have to go over exactly what happened and everything. So they probably did still bring him back to the police station.
yeah,
Now, I could see how that might be intimidating and make him reflect before doing something like that again. On one hand, on the other hand, I can see the kid going, "There's no way I'll do that again." Like, I'm going to be smarter this time. So it's kind of a toss up on that
yeah.
basis. You wouldn't really know until the time comes.
That's a sort of story that like I wish like you know how you always see on like stupid TV shows that they're like, oh, we're checking in with baby Jessica who fell down the well. Like, I hope that in 20 years we check in with this kid because I want to know. I want to know like what I want to check in with him in 20 years to find out what happened with his life. That's what I want to know. So then he can tell us. Did he learn from it? Did he do it again? What happened?
I'd like him to be honest. Now, whether or not he's actually going to do that, that's a questionable thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he does skip, he may not like fess up to it.
Well, that's why I said you got to follow back up though in like 20 years because then he'll be out of school, right? You don't want to follow up in 5 years from these. You gotta wait till he becomes an adult because then he can fess up and tell you what happened. You know,
Well, depending on how
that's
his parents are, that he still might get beat up later on for having skipped school back in high school and whatnot. So I mean, we might have to wait a little longer. We might have to wait for his parents to become senile or something.
true. They're just gonna scare him. They're gonna be like, listen, if you don't go to school and you don't get an education, you're gonna get a job where your coworkers don't know you're dead at your desk. Don't you need to get an education so you actually work with
So
people who
people notice if you're dead.
yes. You don't want the job of the coworkers who leave you on the mountain. Do better for your life.
Oh my gosh. I can't even. And I thought it was bad with like the news around here, some of the stuff that's been going on around here. Motorcycles aren't having the greatest time right now. One can only make assumptions. I'm assuming. Oops. I'm assuming it's because we have more out of staters than we normally do.
Mm-hmm.
In a different time of the year so far. Um, but motorcycles aren't doing too well. They're just
Have there just been a lot of motorcycle accidents lately?
a ton. Well, one of our highways was deemed one of the most dangerous highways for a few years. It's no longer the most dangerous highway anymore. We are no longer number one there. But what I cross it, no, not on foot, not on your life. I like breathing too much.
Do you have to wear a helmet on a
Uh,
motorcycle?
not in
Is it?
Florida. No.
I bet you that plays a big part of it. Like I don't ride motorcycles. I've ridden
Mm.
one once. It was very weird, but if you look up the data, I imagine that makes a big difference in severity of accidents,
Oh,
whether you're required to wear helmets or not. I mean, the accidents are going to happen one way or the other. It's just what's the aftermath of it, really? But do you
story
need?
time. I got a story. No kidding. Okay, so a few years back, people like to hit my car. I don't know what it is about my car. I don't know if it's
A
because it's
bullseye painted on the
shiny.
side.
All right. I don't know if it's because it's shiny, if it's because it's got some nice lights on it. I genuinely don't know. My car was just like, hit me. Um, a scooter, you can ride scooters on the road in Florida.
Like a
They have
Vespa scooter?
like the Vespa scooters. You
Okay.
can ride scooters on the road out here. You do not have to wear a helmet. However, you do have to have insurance. In order to have insurance on it, you have to have a valid license. But if you don't have that, you just got to wear a helmet. I'm not quite sure on the exact specifics. I just know that particular law.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason for this, though. A scooter decided to run a stop sign and he T-boned my car on the side. And I thought I ran over a stick. I'll be honest. I thought I ran over a stick because I'm just driving along, minding my business, and then it's
Yep.
like, what the hell was that? I'm looking around. I didn't
Yeah.
see anything for a few minutes. So I stopped and went to go turn around to see what it was. And I saw him laying in the middle of the road with these little biking pieces and everything. I was like, oh no. Oh God. So I get out and this guy's drunk. He's got no helmet on, no license, no nothing. He's drunk. There's beer going across the road. It had broken open. It looked like something out of a movie, like it had popped open on the side.
Yep.
It was like spraying as it rolled across the road. I was like, oh God, here we go. The neighbor came out just at the right time and is on the phone with 911 telling them, oh, it was a hit and run. It was a hit and run. I'm like, I'm right here. And I didn't hit him. He hit me. It was a hit and fall.
Yeah.
It was a hit and fall, if anything. And he got a ticket for not having a valid driver's license, not having insurance, or a helmet.
Do you need a special license to ride a motorcycle?
You're
Like
supposed to.
you have to take a. I guess it makes sense that you would need to take a special test to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah,
to drive a motorcycle, not ride it. If you're the driver,
to drive one, yeah, you're supposed to. I'm not real sure on the specifics of that one, to be honest, because I don't drive a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I grew up around a bunch of old bikers. If you know boomer bikers, chances are you're not exactly keen to get on a bike anytime soon. And they're kind of horrifying stories.
Did you see Perry's comment in the chat?
No.
He said, "Oh, so that's how you met Dread."
No, the poor man had to pay for my car. He was not thrilled when I gave him that phone call. He came, I gotta say, oh God, that man's wonderful. I called him and told him that scooter had hit the side of my car, and he came running down the street with our kid on his back, on his shoulders. He's running down the road. It's like, I'm fine. I thought I ran over a stick in the middle of the road.
You're like, I'm fine. I'm not the one who got ran over.
I had to yell at the guy, like, stay down, because he was drunk and he thought he was going to get up and bounce away. And I'm like, dude, your face is literally outlined on the side of my car.
That's what I say. He probably doesn't even realize, like, that he got hurt. Like, being drunk is probably what helped him not really get injured that much. He really was ready to just get up and go home.
Oh, it definitely saved him. It absolutely saved him. I mean, his tire, came off of his scooter, went underneath the front end of my vehicle, and actually punctured my. It went right through my tire and my rim. It
Wow.
punctured my rim. Um, he's real lucky. I mean, I hate to say it because I obviously no one wants to get hit by a drunk driver, but he's lucky he was drunk because if he hadn't
Yeah.
have been, he would not have been okay at all. No
Yeah.
way. I mean, it looked like a cartoon. It reminded me of Wile E. Coyote, like running into the side of a mountain because like you could see his head in like perfectly. It's like people, oh, what happened? I'm like, check out these pictures. You want to see what someone's
You're like, let me tell you what
outline?
happened.
You ever seen a body outline on the side of a vehicle before? Let me show you. Come here, come here. Oh my god.
And he's lucky too that this was just like in your neighborhood and it wasn't right. I mean, I don't know how fast he was going, but how much speed are you picking up in the neighborhood? Like
Oh yeah.
at least you weren't going fast. At the
Um,
same token, I mean, he's lucky that this was a, or I don't know, maybe I don't know your life. Maybe you drive through your neighborhood at 80.
he actually did try to say that I sped up to hit him. That he did stop at the stop sign, and that I sped up to hit him. And I, being the person I am and the smart aleck I am, I started laughing because the cop's saying this to me. The guy's in the back of the ambulance, you know, drunk as all hell, yelling and whatnot. And the cop's talking to me, and he's like, he says that you sped up to hit him. And I'm laughing hysterically. I'm like, officer, look at my car. Just look at my car. If I sped up to hit him, I want you to think about this for a second. Don't you think you would have been underneath my car, not bouncing off the side of it? Like, let's be real.
Well, yeah,
here.
because if you wanted to hit him,
Someone.
you would have hit him, not just had him bounce off the side. I mean, but in his defense, who's going to admit, especially a drunk person, who's going to admit that, oh yeah, I ran a stop sign and ran into the side of a car? Of course, you have to come up with some sort of story to be like, no, it wasn't my fault. So you got to give him credit. That was creative.
Well, I don't know how creative it was when the tow truck guy started sweeping up the remnants of his scooter and the contents of what he had inside his scooter and was like, oh, officer, I'm going to smell like beer because two of these cans are spraying everywhere and I'm trying to get them out of the road. And what do you want me to do with them, officer? And I'm just like, man, this is great. Like, I'm so glad.
Anyway, it actually worked out well that the guy was drunk, because if he was not drunk, then it would have been your word versus his, and like obviously then you would have seen, they would have had to look at the point of impact or where he hit, but like it's more clear cut when the dude is drunk, just be like, okay, we don't believe him. I'm
just asking the cop, who in the world speeds up so someone can bounce off the side of their car? Like, what kind of psychopath do you think I am? I'll be the first one to say, like, I'm not necessarily saying I wouldn't try to run somebody over. I don't know what I'll do in the future. I can't say I'll never do it. But I can promise you that if I go to run someone over with my vehicle or chase them down, they're not bouncing off the side. They're going underneath my tires, bro.
So Paul said, if I meant to hit you, you'd still be down.
Yes. Yes. If I meant to hit you, you'd be dead. Because I'm putting it in reverse. Like, if we're already going that route, we're going to put it in reverse, put it back in drive again, maybe put it in reverse again. We might put park.
But if you're going to hit somebody, don't hit them in front of that neighbor's house, because she's a nosy neighbor and already called the cops. And you got to hit it in front of somebody else's house that hopefully isn't home, isn't going to report you.
I think she's busy now. She's recently found new religion and has decorated her house in said the outside of her house and painted her fence and everything. And I think she's busy now with her spreading the word of Jesus or something.
Oh, so just make sure you run somebody over on a Sunday so she's not home to see you.
Sunday, Thursday night, same difference. We hold churches on those nights. Like, let's do it. They'll never know. Oh my gosh. Too funny. Too funny. Let's do the Oh, here we go. Class M1 for motorcycle, Class M2 for motor-driven cycles and motorized bicycles. See, the
So you
motorized
so you need different classes of license. So like I just whatever class it is to drive a car, that's what I have. So if I was driving a motorcycle, I would get a ticket then because it's like I don't have a license, right? Because I don't have the right class. I'm not licensed to drive it.
I don't know. I don't know if a valid driver's license will do it or not.
I'd tip over. I'm not. I want to go to motorcycle. You know what? If I lived in the right place, I would totally want to drive around like a golf cart or something. I would do that.
well, I know at one point in time there were no real laws for certain scooters and the motorized bicycles. They didn't have them yet because they were the scooters and the bicycles were still so new and not as popular, so they weren't necessarily a problem. But then a bunch of people got DUIs and had their licenses suspended. So they started driving the motorized
Yes.
bicycles and the motorized scooters because the scooters only went up to like 35 miles an
Yeah.
hour or something.
Which is still insanely fast for standing on a little tiny scooter.
Yeah. So I know that they were having an issue trying to decide whether or not
They're
you
probably
could
still not
drive
regulated
both.
though. It's probably still not regulated, is my guess. Because it probably
Not as
just
much
takes
as cars.
time.
Well, not as much as cars and
Yeah.
motorcycles. I can tell you that right now. I know motorcycles and cars are much more paid attention to because we have to have tags and
Yeah.
we have to have insurance on them. Motorcycles, you
I
do have to have insurance on.
A couple years ago I saw this dude by my job. The guy he looked like he was going super fast. It was like think of what a skateboard looks like, but it was sideways, so you could stand on it, just facing forward. And it
Mhm.
had one big fat wheel in the middle. So kind of, I guess it's like a hoverboard layout, but like bigger. This dude, I can't even tell you how fast he was going down the road, and all I thought was, you hit one pebble, like you're going flying. I couldn't believe it. Like I could see you're going out in a scooter or something that's a little bit more durable, but you just have one medium-sized tire on the roadway. Like that doesn't I don't know, that doesn't seem safe. You're just gonna bite it and then have no skin left on your legs. I don't know.
Um, I'm not giving warning labels to these people. They can have their fun in the
Oh
sun
yeah, I
and
don't
tear
care.
their skin off. Because I mean, it, I'm at this point in my life. I am so over trying to help people be safer themselves because I've had friends over the years that have decided to start riding motorcycles and what have you. And I'll tell them, like, great, good for you. Wear a helmet, wear the proper riding gear, wear a riding jacket, riding pants, and boots. Like, that's all there is to it. Do not wear flip flops, shorts, and a freaking tank top
Yep.
on a motorcycle. That's the dumbest thing you could. But I'm still wearing a helmet. But the rest of you is gonna be filleted. But don't worry about it. Your head won't be cracked open. It's just
Yeah,
your neck will be snapped. It's cool. It's fine. Don't
well, no,
worry.
your head won't be cracked open, so you will still be there to feel all the pain when you have no skin left on your body. So you are gonna feel every moment of it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I got a friend that still has serious damage from that. She's got severe
Mhm.
scar damage from having an accident on a motorcycle. I mean, at this point, if you guys want to wear tank tops, flip flops, and go play with Jaws,
Have
enjoy
at
my
it.
fun because I think we've saved too many stupid people over the years. I think that's the problem we're dealing with right now. There are too many stupid people that haven't had enough repercussions. Do the thing. I dare you. It's going to be great.
Well, see, you know how like it used to be that you could like kind of beat people up sometimes, like you could teach people a lesson. Like I don't know. I'm with you. It should be acceptable that your coworkers leave you on the side of the mountain. You can come inside. You could come into work, and if you get in a little scuffle, that's just the price you pay. And you get in a scuffle, and then you call it even, and everyone moves on with life, right? Like maybe that just needs to happen.
Think about it this way. Back in the day, before fighting got you sued and arrested and whatever, okay, we all used to fight our friends. 12 years old. Why are we swinging? Who knows? A mama joke went too far. Or I don't like your socks today. Or you told the boy that I had a crush on that I liked him, or whatever the case may be. And we were fine. We swung on each other. We beat each other up. And then we moved on with life. But guess what? We learned a lesson. Maybe don't say the thing within arm's reach. Maybe don't say the thing if you don't want to get slapped for it.
Yeah.
Maybe don't do the dumb thing if you don't want to get your ass handed to you. Just don't do it. What is it? FAFO.
Yep.
I mean, that's the problem.
So I'm a nerd and I've never been in a fight, but one of the best days of my life, my brother, I have an older brother, and I snuck up on him and I was beating him with a fly swatter because it's got holes, so you can swing those really fast. And I got quite a few swings in before he was able, because I caught him off guard. So I got quite a few swings in before he was able to wrestle it away from me. And I was just going to town on him. Well, right as he was in the process of wrestling it away from me, he had just wrestled away and he hit me like twice. My mom walked in the room, sees him hit me. So she comes up and she rips the fly swatter from him and she starts hitting him, going, "See, how do you like it? Do you like it if you get hit?" She had no clue that I had just, wailed on him. It was the greatest thing ever. I got to beat him. Then my mom beat me with a fly swatter. It was absolutely amazing. And I don't know why he didn't rat me out. He never told my mom that I hit him. He just took it. It was great. It was just.
Oh, I'm surprised he wasn't using that as leverage for things for a while. My brother.
I'm surprised too. I don't know. It's one of the greatest memories ever of the double fly swatter beating. It was amazing.
I have two brothers that are one's a year younger than me, and the other one's about 3 years younger than me. And we used to fight like it was going out of style. So I wish I could say that I've never been into an actual fight. I've been in way too many over the years. I haven't been in one in a long time, well, longish time, I guess you could say. Yeah, I don't miss fighting with my brothers very much, though. I can honestly say that now because when we got older, my brothers are both much bigger than me. It's not
now you lose, so you don't want to get in a fight.
Oh no, I don't lose. I still won't lose. Like I have always told them, I'm older than you. I taught you how to fight. You will never win against me. That's just all there is to it. I can be a third of your size, dude, and I will still take you because I know everything you're gonna do. I literally taught you how to fight. There's nothing you can pull out that I'm not gonna know. However, one of my brothers did catch me one time because my mom pulled me off, and my brothers and I actually threw fists at each other. We were not gentle creatures at all. They would never hit another woman. I'm gonna make that disclaimer. Yeah. My brothers would never touch another woman. No. They'll call me first. But they will absolutely they used to put hands on me. They won't now. We're too old. My brother did one time. Sucker kicked me in the chest and knocked the wind out of me. My mom beat him senseless. As soon as she let go of me, and I was like, my mom's like, "You little." She chased him down the street, and I was like, "Get him." I was like, my other brother was laughing. He's like, "Oh, you got kicked in the chest." I'm like, "Yeah, but who's laughing now? She's whooping his ass, not mine."
Yeah. You're like, this is totally worth it for this outcome.
About to beat me senseless for starting this fight. Now she's over there beating on him. Really?
Yeah.
Who won? Who won this round? Just say it. Not as easy as you think. No. Some of you guys are lucky you only had 1 or 2 siblings. I had 5. Not easy.
Yeah, that's a lot. I just had 1. I have 1 sibling, so.
No, I still have all 5, but I've adopted more over the years. Because I'm not sure if I'm just nice or brain dead. A glutton for punishment. I don't have enough siblings to argue with and annoy me.
You need to collect more.
I need more, lots more. I'm not needed enough. I feel lonely. Oh, goodness gracious. But, well, guys, it's been an hour 40 almost. So, as fun as this is, before we keep going on, this turns into another like 3 hour show. I'm gonna say we should probably get off soon. So, God, I can't even. I don't even know what. You guys are all amazing, and I need to remember to read these as they're going because I'm so behind on these. Much easier if the phone's closer to my face. I'm still not used to reading on the different screens, guys. Someday I'll get there. Someday I'll get there. But next week, I'll probably be back with more Halloween themed stuff. I know you guys are excited. Yes. Oh, wait a minute.
And if you're not excited, well, if you're not excited, we're going to make you excited.
Yeah, we should probably start our countdown to Halloween with movies and stuff because I'm usually MIA in October, so
Okay.
We might have to start that. So that might be something we start next week, everybody. Halloween for the rest of the month, not for the rest of the year. We won't be discussing Christmas at the end of the year. We'll still be discussing second Halloween.
Halloween all year round.
I'm game. I don't see any problem with that. If anyone has any problem with that, speak now. I didn't think so.
Yep. Didn't hear anybody.
I heard nothing. So, but with that being said, we appreciate all of you guys in the chat for all the support. You guys are awesome. Perry, you're so cool, dude.
Yes, Perry became a member and Perry gifted 5 memberships. So I don't remember all 5 people. Dread, Axel, RWK was there. Who else was? I'm trying to find it here in the chat and I can't. It like disappeared on me. Somebody whose name I'm not familiar with. I feel like he had Moon in the name.
Oh, the Moon Man.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, the Moon Man, Charlie Hustle. Yeah, Dread, Moon Man, RWK, Iconic Video Games, Charlie Hustle. So you guys are all now members, courtesy of Game Complainer. So thank you so much. Yes, and thank you for everyone participating in the chat.
We hope you guys enjoyed our ridiculousness all over the place as usual.
Yes.
We'll have more chaotic for you next week.
Yeah, and we hope you all join us next week and you are not dead at your desks all week. So we'll notice next week if you're not here, and I
will notice.
Yeah, we'll tell your job to go look for you.
I will put out a missing persons report for you guys. Don't worry, I've got your backs. Get your coworkers. We've got you covered. We'll notice you're missing.
Yes. And RWK $1.99 Fire Show as always, ladies. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
You guys are great. But
all right.
We will see you guys next week. And until then, I'm Death Dealer.
And I'm Pink Pickles.
And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.